Welcome. Today's video, I'm going to give you the pros and the cons of living in Sandy, Utah. So if you're thinking about making that move here to Sandy, Utah, and you're not sure about it, well, this video I'm going to go over about 5 or 6 different reasons why you may or you may not want to move here, and I'm getting after it right now. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Greg Spackman. I'm with the Living in Salt Lake City channel. So if you want to learn everything about what Salt Lake City is like, then please subscribe to my channel here and then click the little bell to be notified every time I do a new video. I've been getting a ton of reach outs from people like you that are thinking about moving here or wanting to move to the Salt Lake City area, and I love it. So if that's you, please give me a call. Send me a text, give me an email, whatever you got to do to reach out to me. I will be the one answering the call. So here we go. The pros and the cons of living in Sandy, Utah. So before I get into the pros and the cons, I figured I should give you a little bit of an idea about Sandy, Utah itself. Here, let me give you a little map view. Well, here you can see where Sandy, Utah, this is all outlined in red. Salt Lake City is to the north, Provo, Utah is to the south. The travel to downtown Salt Lake City, you're looking at a 20 to 40 minute commute, depending upon what time of day you go and if there's traffic that day or accidents or whatever. But anyhow, most of the time that I do the drive is 20 to 30 minutes or so. So it's not a bad drive at all to go to downtown. If you want to go to Park City to hit the slopes or some of the other ski resorts, Park City is one of the further ones. It's 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes away. Then we have, if you're trying to go from Sandy to the airport, you're looking at 25 to 30 minutes most times of day. Once again, it could be a little longer if there's traffic or something else. Travel to Provo, Utah, you're looking at 35 to 45 minutes, depending upon how fast you drive. You can even shave a little bit more time if you drive like some of the drivers here drive and drive 100 miles an hour. Anyhow, the travel to one of my favorite destinations and one that I'm looking forward to going to soon is to Las Vegas, and it's 409 miles from Sandy, and that takes you somewhere around 5.5, 6 hours, somewhere in that range. Just depends on if you're going to stop in St. George or Cedar City for food, gas, or if you got an electric car and you need to charge up, it could take you a little bit longer than that. But know that Vegas is definitely doable. You can get to California, like LA, in 10, 11 hours at most, which is pretty awesome. And then Phoenix is probably around that same amount of time. You can get up to Idaho really quickly, something like 3 or 4 hours to somewhere good. Just a ton of different places. Denver is, I think, 8 hours away. Just depends on what you're looking for. But Sandy is in a great spot. And here's the reason for the video, the pros and the cons. Pro number 1 would be Sandy has pretty good public transportation. You can take buses around. You can take a light rail system, which is the TRAX system. Then you can also take the front runner train to get around. The TRAX system is the blue line in case you're going up to Salt Lake City. And then you can catch that over to the airports. You can actually get all around. Then you can take the red line if you need to get over to Daybreak. There's just a great way that you can get around via the TRAX system or the front runner train. Front runner train is going to go all the way up into Ogden-ish area up there and then all the way down to Provo. So you definitely have the ability, if you don't want to drive your car, to get around to where you need to go. So that is pro number 1, the public transportation. Number 1 would be the high housing costs. And those costs have just keep going up and up and up. However, I will go ahead and show you currently what some rentals look like and actually what some homes for sale are currently in Sandy, Utah. Let me switch over to my browser. So over here you can get an idea of some of the rentals, like a 1-bedroom, 1-bath place, $750. I'd be surprised that it's actually that cheap. However, it could be. Then you have $1,096, and then a couple other prices, and then $1,360. These are just the apartments. There are a bunch of other places that you can find anywhere from the $1,000 range on up. And I'm sure that there's more apartments. For whatever reason, it's limiting me to these few. And then if we look at the housing for rent, you're looking at anywhere from about $2,000. And then looks like the most expensive thing on here is a 5-bedroom, 3.5-bath for about $3,000, well, $2,955. So that gives you the idea of rentals. But just an average rental, you're probably looking in the $2,300 to $2,600 range for a home to rent. So if you're looking for something to buy, here's my website, thespackmangroup.com, which I welcome you to go sign up and start looking at homes. Here we have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath for $400,000, and then you can kind of get an idea as I slowly scroll through here. There are currently 74 homes for sale in Sandy, but you're looking in the fives, most of it. There's just a bunch here in the $500,000 range. Then we go into sixes, sevens, eights, nines. Then we get into the $1 million properties, and all the way at the bottom, looking at $7 million, $6.9 million. Look at that hit. $481,000 drop 10 days ago on this huge home, 12,000 square foot home. Anyhow, so if you're in the market for a home, love to chat with you. Reach out so that me and my team can help you. We'd love to find out what you're wanting, what size, what location. As you can see, for Sandy here, you got all over you can be, and I wouldn't want you to pick the wrong location. So that's what we can help with. And that's kind of your brief overview of the housing. When we get on a Zoom call or phone call, I can get into more detail about it, or you can ask your questions, what you want to know about the housing market, where it was the past few months, that sort of thing, what we're looking at exactly right now. Right now, we're seeing some homes that are turnkey are getting multiple offers and going above list price. The homes that aren't turnkey or that have been sitting a while, you're seeing price drops. So it just depends. We can help you with that, of course. You just got to reach out. Pro number 2 is going to be the friendly and welcoming people here in Sandy, Utah. So when you're thinking about making that move here to Sandy, know that even if you don't know anyone, you're going to be able to make friends. People here are genuinely friendly. And I know that it's kind of cliche or whatever, but we moved here and we found the people very, very friendly. We found very few people that aren't, I guess, jerks or whatever, but you're going to find that everywhere. And we thought that it might be harder to make friends, but it's just putting yourself out there. You're going to be able to make friends, and especially if you're doing some of the outdoor sports and join maybe some meetup groups, or just if you're into church, then you join a church and you're going to find friends, that sort of thing. You're going to be able to find friends here, and the people here are overall generally nice. And once again, Utah in general is just has nice, friendly people. I don't know what it is about it, but we just are that way here. So when you move here, make sure you keep that vibe going and you're friendly to other people that are moving here. Con number 2 is the traffic on State Street. So you're going to run into lots of traffic, especially on State Street, since everything is on that street. And the times of day between commute times and stuff, it can be a nightmare to get around on State Street or on I-15. Just know that your typical drive to Salt Lake City is 20 to 35 minutes usually, so it's not bad. It just, you're going to have to get used to the surface street traffic, since the way that Sandy sits and all the different roads, Sandy just has traffic. Pro number 3 is probably my favorite reason, and that's for the outdoors and recreation of what you can do here in Sandy. So Sandy itself has something like 30 parks. It has Dimple Dell, for example, has 630 acres to explore. You can see here on the map where Dimple Dell is. Scroll out a little bit so you can get a good idea of where Dimple Dell is. But it's a huge park, lots of hiking, lots of things to do in the park itself. Satellite view of the park, so it doesn't look all that special from here, but it's super cool. It has 15 miles of trails for you to hike. You can walk, you can cycle, mountain bike on it, just things for you to do. You can even horseback ride on some of the trails there. They have Bell Canyon Trailhead, which is nearby as well. So hopefully you're into golfing, because there's 4 golf courses for you to enjoy, and I'll show you where they are on the map right now. Down here to the south, we have the Hidden Valley Country Club. Then as you go north more, we have the Willow Creek Country Club. Then we have the Pebble Brook Golf Course. Don't know why I couldn't say that. And then out here to the west, we have this one here, which is super cool, and it is River Oaks Golf Course, right in here on the map. So as you can see, we have 4 cool golf courses for you to enjoy. If you're a golfer, I would definitely check that out. If you need more information about the different courses, shoot me an email or a text, and I can give you, whatever it costs to join the different clubs or any other information you want to know about them, that sort of thing. I'm happy to find that out for you. If you're a snow skier or snowboarder, well, I'm going to give you the map of those as well. I skied at both Snowboard and Alta years ago when I was in the ski club in college, and it was super fun. We did five ski resorts over the time period that we were here. I think we were here 5 days, and we did 5 different ski resorts. So we skied at Snowbird, Alta, Brighton, and Solitude one day, and then Park City the next. So as you can see on the map, it's 20 minutes away from Alta and Snowbird, and these resorts were super, super fun to ski at, super challenging, but can you imagine being 20 minutes away from the slopes? That's amazing. Now, of course, it isn't going to be 20 minutes on the weekends or after certain days when we get fresh powder, the canyon will get tied up. However, a normal day like today, you could just probably drive there in 20 minutes. Well, it's showing you it's 20 minutes on the map. So that gets you to Snowbird and Alta. Then if you want to go to Solitude and Brighton, you're looking at 33 minutes away. So 33 minutes. These are my favorite ski resorts. Once again, when I came up with the ski club, this was my favorite resort. It just wasn't as busy as the other ones, and the slopes and trails were pretty amazing. And I guess whatever powder that they had was better than the other resorts that we skied at. But know that is within 35 minutes. So far you have 4 ski resorts within 35 minutes of your house if you're in Sandy. Next up, we have Park City, and you're looking at, 40 to 50 minutes to an hour and a half. Just depends. Park City can be trafficked. However, you have Park City and Deer Valley that are right here on the map. With all in all, you're within 45 minutes of some of the best skiing you're going to find anywhere in the world. And this is a big plus for being in Sandy, I think. How about sports? Well, up in Salt Lake City, you have the Utah Jazz. So if you're an NBA fan, you got the University of Utah Utes. You get for college football. They went to the Rose Bowl this year, and I think they went last year as well. And then you have the MLS soccer team, which is called the Real Salt Lake Soccer. And I'll show you their stadium, what it looks like. So here's the stadium of where the soccer team is. It's America First Field. It used to be called the Rio Tinto Stadium, and so I still want to call it that. I think other people do too, but just know that it's now called America First Field, and that's where they play. I can zoom out so you can get an idea, but it's right next to the freeway, located, right at I-15 pretty much, and Sandy. But no, there's going to be more traffic, of course, on game days and that sort of thing for people going to the game. So those are our sports that are mainly right nearby, but there's other things. Of course, you have the Salt Lake Bees, so if you're into AAA baseball, they are currently in Salt Lake City, but they're being moved over to South Jordan here in the next 2 years. They're building a brand new stadium over there and getting them out of Salt Lake City. There's some controversy over that. People are mad, but I don't know. We went there personally and went to a game, and it wasn't all that great with the homeless and other people around, and then the stories of your car being broken into didn't make me feel super safe being in that area around the stadium when we went to the game. However, other people seem to really like that and are mad that they can't walk to the game anymore. As far as another entertaining thing you can do is you can go to the Megaplex 20 in Jordan Commons. It's super, super cool. And let me show you what that looks like, because it's something you probably want to see. So here's just a quick photo that you can see of what the inside of it kind of looks like. But it is super neat, the way that it's set up and designed. And of course, those are the things that are for the entertainment. And I don't know, there's a bunch of other things you can go do, of course. You just have to figure out what it is that you want. All in all, those are the cool things about the outdoors and whatnot that you can do in Sandy, Utah. So if you're a skier, snowboarder, just Sandy has everything that you're looking for. It's a great place to call home. Now, con number 3 is the land is mostly built up, so it's not going to be super easy to get new construction in Sandy. There is new construction here and there. There just isn't big subdivisions being built because the land is mostly built out, since it was one of the new older cities that it's been there for a while. Pro number 4 is the shopping and the food in Sandy, and there's this place called Shields there. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's amazing. We go there sometimes when we just have nothing to do and you just want to walk around for an hour and kill some time. I'll take the kids to get them away from the wife, and they have a Ferris wheel in there that you can go on. They have clothing, as well as all the different sports equipment that you need to buy, from hockey, baseball, softball, skiing, watercraft sports, fishing, hiking, just everything that you're going to need as far as sporting goods. It's in this huge place. So I definitely recommend that you check it out. Someplace I go every month or two. Normally we go there and we'll get all our fishing supplies for the year. And we're coming up on, now we're in the winter time, so we're getting closer to spring, which I'm going to get my fly fishing gear so that I can do fly fishing this year. It's something on my list to go do with all the cool streams we have here. And I see people at some of the local lakes with fly fishing, and they're having a blast rather than I'm just casting out with my normal pole. But you can definitely find whatever you're looking for inside of Shields. But they also have the mall. So there's a big mall that's there. And I know malls are kind of going away, but they have a mall. We have a Costco, Walmart. There's a Nordstrom Rack. There's a Home Depot. My wife's favorite store in Sandy is the Home Goods store, and that's kind of attached to the mall, but kind of not. However, it's her favorite place to go shop. She wants to go there every week if I'd let her. There's a ton of small businesses here in Sandy. There's from bike stores to cake places. Whatever you're looking for, Sandy pretty much has you covered. There are restaurants that are there, like Texas Roadhouse, R&R Barbecue, Shake Shack, Buffalo Wild Wings, Payway. And one of our favorite places that I highly recommend you go is called Koi Hibachi Steakhouse. Tell them that Greg sent you. They have some amazing hibachi food. It's better than the other places that we've been, and they're super nice there. And they also have sushi, which is a plus since I like sushi, so I can get a few pieces of fish, and my wife can get hibachi since she hates sushi, so we kind of get both things, but then I get some hibachi as well. It's just a great place to go, and I highly recommend that you check it out. Our favorite Chinese place around is called Mulan's. So if you get get their food, it's really a to-go place only. I don't think they have tables set up unless they've set them up since I was last in there. But they're super friendly. They give you hot, fresh food, and everybody seems to really like their food. Those are the things for shopping and food. Sandy basically has whatever you're kind of looking for, you're going to be able to get, and don't worry about it. Sandy's going to have it. Otherwise, Draper is right next door, and you're going to be able to get it in Draper as well. Next up on my list, con number 4 would be diversity, the crime, and just Sandy's rating as a city itself. So as you can see from this chart that I have on the screen from niche.com, they gave Sandy an overall rating of an A-, which, they gave a B+ for schools, they gave a B for housing, A- for good for families, A- for jobs, C for cost of living, A for your outdoor activities, C+ crime, which I'll dig into the crime part here in a second, B+ nightlife, although I think the nightlife is probably a little bit lower rated than that, B for diversity, B- for weather, A for health and fitness, and A- for commute. And then here we go for the crime part of it. As you can see on this, I circled the main reason why I think that the crime is a C+, and that's because theft is so high, and that I've been told, but I don't know for sure, but I've been told that the the theft is high because of people being so friendly and leaving their toys and other things outside, and then people just walk off. So you leave your bike out front because your kids were playing, and then their bike just disappears, or something else that you left out front or outside, and it just, grows legs and walks off. So I think that's mainly it. But if you look at as far as assaults go and murder, rape seems pretty almost closer to the national average. Robbery is really, really low, so you don't get robbed there. Burglary is kind of higher, so that goes along with the theft, I think. And then motor vehicle theft, seems like you're going to get your car stolen if you don't have the right car, which, this new report that State Farm came out with, where they're not approving certain cars on their policy. These different Kias that are getting stolen like crazy. So I would just make sure you lock your car. So Sandy may not be as diverse as you like. However, in my opinion, from shopping there, showing property there, just being there in Sandy, Utah, it has a really good mix of people. It's like one of the bigger cities here, but it's not a huge city. So it doesn't feel like as big as other cities feel that are like its same size. It has retirement communities in there, single family homes, apartments, townhomes, condos, new and old, you're going to be able to find something. There really is something for everyone in Sandy, Utah, and that's why it's one of my favorite cities. Pro number 5 and con number 5 are pretty much running together, and that's the weather and your health in Sandy. So as far as the winter time goes, every winter seems to be different here. Some winters we get a lot of snow, and you will get more snow typically because you're closer to the mountains in Sandy than you will in some of the other cities. However, you don't get feet and feet and feet of snow. You just get enough snow where snow could be bothersome to you. So if you don't want the snow, then Sandy may not be the best place for you. There could be better cities where they get less snow than Sandy does. However, the winter is going to be in the average of in the 20-30 degree mark. Typically runs, we have colder days and we have some warmer days, but overall it's going to be 20 to 30. So you're going to need to wear like a light coat or a heavy coat depending upon how cold you get. I typically get away with a light coat or a sweatshirt. Like when I go to the gym, and it's 25 degrees out, I can throw a sweatshirt on and my gym shorts and go to the gym and be okay because you're just running in to the gym and then running out. It's not that big of a deal. Next up after winter, we have spring. Spring I look forward to every year because now it's starting to warm up. It's not as hot. Things are starting to grow. Plants are starting to bloom. Trees are getting their leaves back. It's a great time for spring, and you'll really enjoy that here. I don't think you'll have any problems in the springtime other than maybe with allergies with all the stuff blooming. So make sure you're using whatever allergy medication you like if you have them. Then we have summertime. Summers here are probably my favorite time of the year. This is when I get to go hiking and camping and boating, and I can go take our paddle boards out on the lakes. We can do everything that we can do outdoors happens in the summertime for us. We don't really do much of the snow skiing anymore, but the summertime we use that to our advantage the best that we can. I'll take my Jeep out and go 4-wheel driving. It's just a great time for the summer, and you're going to be able to do everything. It also gets dark like at 10 p.m. at night, so you're going to work till 5 or 6 and get off and then still have plenty of time to go do a hike or something else that you want to go do. It doesn't get super, super hot. It gets in the 90s to the low 100s, but typically I think it's in the 92 to 98 degree range. And so that's super nice when you're sitting outside in the backyard. You're just going to be able to enjoy it because there isn't a ton of bugs and it's not humid. So you can just sit outside and really enjoy being using your outdoor space. So I recommend if you have the ability at all to get some outdoor space with your home. Then we run into fall, so the leaves change. Gorgeous, gorgeous color leaves from gold leaves to like a bunch of different colors. You have a bunch of different trails that you can take. There's a 2 or 3 week window where the leaves are changing, so everyone goes up and takes their family portraits and does the drives. So just know that it could take longer to do this 5-mile drive that should take you 5 minutes, could take you 2 hours, but it's definitely worth it. So that's kind of there's pros and cons about the weather just based on if you want snow and you want colder weather, but if you're wanting a different kind of weather than Utah or at least Salt Lake City area may not be the right area for weather for you. Like St. George doesn't get as cold, for instance, since it's closer, further down the state and it's not as high of elevation as we are. But those are something that are huge for you to know. Let's also not forget that we have gorgeous mountains to look at. Right now they're full of snow, so they're super cool to look at with the snow on it. Just when you get bored or tired of looking at them with all the snow on it, that melts and you're going to be back to the barren mountains, and those look great. So you have gorgeous mountains to look at year round from the west side and the east side. It's just awesome for your views. It almost feels like I'm in a snow globe sometimes when I look at the mountains. They don't look real. All in all, those were my major pros and cons of living in Sandy, Utah. There might be some things I left out, like how it doesn't have a super great nightlife. However, there are options available. You're only, a hop, skip, and a jump away from Salt Lake City. If you're considering making a move here, please reach out to me and my team. We'd love to hear from you, love to chat with you and help you on your journey here. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Do what you got to do to reach out to us. Until next time, be rad.